Hello, Salam, everybody. How's everyone? How's everybody doing? Happy holidays, happy winters. I hope everybody's staying safe, and enjoying the time with the family. Schools are off for the winter break, so I hope that everybody is having a good time, relaxing, but on the other hand, staying safe because, again, this second wave have hit our country big time, and it's just that I think we need to utilize this time to breathe in and understand what we need to do with our lives properly instead of all the distractions that we had in the pre-COVID world. Anyways, coming to the point that like always, I had no intention of making a video, but I had a meeting right now. I just had a meeting. Or this meeting, May we were talking about neurodiversity, and they were really appreciating my work. They were really appreciating team neurodiversity, but I could sense the lack of understanding about neurodiversity and the movement of neurodiversity. People feel like that when I talk about inclusion and when I talk about neurodiversity, it's very limited to school and home. Of course, inclusion starts from home, and school is something that starts the formation, the base of a child who has certain different um, brain structure or brain style or neurology behind it. But neurodiversity is a lifestyle. For me, it is. And when we talk about lifestyle, what I mean by is that it's not just school, it's not just home, it's not just people around me. It's about getting a job, it's about getting starting a family, it's about working and understanding the talent of a person who is neurodivergent. So inclusion is for the employers who are hiring people. It's for organizations as well. Inclusion and neurodiversity needs to go towards that organizational sector as well. People feel like, especially in Pakistan, that neurodiversity inclusion is just about school and home. It's about getting a job. It's about organizations understanding the need to be more inclusive, to be more empathetic, and to be more understanding and accepting towards those who are neurologically a little different. So, I really wanted to talk today about this. And one thing that um, I'm not an organizational psychologist, but I have studied a little bit about behavioral economics and organizational psychology and how we actually help the employers and the organizations understand their employees better. So, starting with that, like, I think we have come to recognize the benefits of a diverse group of people in workplace. But isn't it time that we also embrace a diverse group of brain types? What if we've been thinking about our brains in the wrong way? What if traits like ADHD, autism, dyslexia, and others weren't thought of as disorders, but as just brain makeups that are not only natural, but also contain unique gifts and contributions? Now, that's the thinking behind the concept of neurodiversity for me, a framework that embraces the variety of brain makeups found in the human species. Now, neurodiversity is also a categorization of identity that is, I think, very much overlooked and underserved in the workplace. From the interview process to the decision making of most of the workplace, environments are built around things like eye contact, noisy group work, generally overstimulating settings. In other words, they are built for more neurotypical people. So right now there are a very small but growing number of experts discussing about the benefits of thinking differently in a workplace, who try to persuade business to recognize the value that neurodiverse people can bring as employees in their organizations. For example, Forbes actually published a piece which highlighted the superpowers of ADHD, including the ability to focus for extended periods, multitasking, and keeping calm under pressure. All these skills are valuable for busy working executives. And I think this is a message that businesses are getting on board with. Now, as a part of the drive for more diverse and inclusive workplaces, which has developed over the past, I think, 2 decades, if I'm not wrong, a number of organizations are taking notice and beginning amend their recruiting practices. Even HR people have, started formalizing different ways to hire people. For example, SAP, Microsoft Word, Microsoft Word, they have begun to start understanding the neurodiversity. Even Dell, IBM, JP Morgan, they have started scoping their strategies. A few companies, even in 2017, Yahoo announced its first neurodiversity employee resource group, ERG, intended to help neurodivergent individuals to open about their strengths and challenges and get their needs accommodated in a workplace. So, indeed, many of the world's greatest scientists, artists, entrepreneurs have dyslexia or ADHD, and many other traits. There is no denying that. So, in any given sphere of society, we only get the benefit of contributions of those individuals who are empowered to practice. And we only get the full benefit of a given individual's unique potential if that individual is empowered to practice without being forced to suppress their talents and their differences. I take their differences as talents. So the point is not to hire neurodivergent people as part of the corporate social responsibility and just wave the flag of diversity. But the point is to actually value the minds. And indeed, like Silicon Valley has benefited enormously from autistic mind. Steve Silberman notes in their book, please do read that book, Neurotribes. One of the mothers of an autistic son shared with the company that it's not about giving them simple jobs because they feel pity, they feel sorry for them, but to meet and to meet some diversity goal. It's about hiring them because they truly meet a need in their business and possess the skills needed to excel in their job. Now, when we talk about that, how can we actually reframe neurodivergence practice? So I think there are some suggestions in my mind right now. Like, first of all, introduce the term neurodiversity. Welcome the orientations for making new hires, making neurodivergent individuals comfortable to come out later down the road. Second, I think give people choices about opening office spaces that are more, giving them a private space, they're more comfortable. Crave out roles that really less rely on less linear thinking, if I may say. These roles can produce better results for the company and the employee. Make mental health challenges less taboo by holding regular, talk about it, workshops about it, boosting their self-esteem, understanding the boundaries and the communication. Encourage the nature, talk about that over the lunchtime, so that people are more comfortable in talking about their problems, not just the neurodiversity, but in any um, kind of psychological issues. While autism and ADHD are better known by the public and in popular cultural traits, but like bipolar disorder, severe anxiety, dyspraxia, or highly sensitive personalities are less commonly understood in any organization setting. So, just as companies have come around to embrace identity along a spectrum of gender, I think sexuality, introversion, neurodiversity movement says that same understanding should be extended to diversity of mind. What Yahoo, Microsoft Word, and other companies are piloting seems like a useful start for us. What really matters in the end is that people who do identify as neurodivergent feel secure in having a workplace that accepts them and allow them to thrive. This will shine a light on how executive and education can become an environment where rare minds can thrive rather than being compromised. And what I feel is that this is something so important that we are neglecting. And if we make use of their talents instead of focusing on their differences, if we use those differences as talents, our system is going to boost, our economy is going to boost. God have made them in this certain way because they are going to benefit us. We all benefit from each other's differences, don't we? So why do we sideline these special children, special people, just because that our neurological makeup doesn't match theirs? It doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't make sense at all. For me, it doesn't. If you think from a human perspective, it's not making sense. They are different because they are made that way. I am different from so many people in the family. So is that mean that I should be sidelined? I should not be allowed to work. I should not be allowed to go to public settings. I should not be allowed to go to gatherings because people feel I'm different. I embrace that difference in me. I love that difference in me. And I love that difference in my son. I love that difference in any human being because I am learning from that difference. So please let's just make it normal. It's okay. They are autistic, they are ADHD, and that's okay. This is how they are made. And we need to embrace that rather than just focusing on, what the difference is. So I don't want to make it longer, but I just wanted to talk about this. That for me, my movement, my team, we are not just here to talk about and getting our children into schools. We are here to protect our children on every single step, every single milestone of their lives, to get jobs so that they can start a family. They are allowed to love anyone. They are allowed to make friends. They are allowed to hang out. They are allowed to freely travel in safer airplanes, in safer environment. That is what inclusion is, isn't it? So let's just start a dialogue. People should know that inclusion is not just, getting them into the mainstream school. No, inclusion is everywhere, everywhere. Shopping malls. You just name it, and we need to start talking about inclusion in that area. So I hope that I have made my message clear, and I really wanted to sit down and talk about it. So thank you so much for listening. I hope you understand. And if you have any other point that you wanted me to talk about, please do write in the comments. And I will definitely, if you want me to talk about some other topic, do let me know. And I will definitely, me or my team will work on that. Thank you so much for listening, and take care of yourself. Love yourself and your children, family unconditionally. Um, just keep in mind that always, that when you meet someone, they would know something that you don't. So meet people to learn, to grow within your skin. So yeah, thank you so much. Take care. Allah Hafiz.